This Roseberry Topping walk explores some of my favourite paths, viewpoints and landmarks across this beautiful part of the North York moors. I begin in the village of Great Ayton, walk north along Newton Road, pass through the iron gates, continue east, cross the railway and climb Rye Hill. Entering Cliff Rigg Wood, I take the diagonal uphill path through the trees, stay on the main trail, reach the top and continue towards a farmhouse. I follow the path towards the stone shooting box, walk across the fields and begin climbing the slabbed steps leading up Roseberry Topping. To descend, I follow the stone-stepped path, pass the information board, climb again while skirting the cone-shaped hill and continue across Newton Moor. With a dry stone wall to my right and open moorland left, I continue following the long southbound track across Great Ayton Moor. I descend to Gribdale Gate, join the forestry track heading south and follow its gentle rise as the route climbs steadily over Cockshaw Hill. The track narrows into stone steps leading to the monument, then I follow the moorland path between the two tall posts into Ayton Banks Wood. I continue downhill, cross a forestry track, emerge into open countryside and follow the northwest path as it steadily drops off Round Hill. The path widens into a concrete lane, then I take a stone track southwest, cross the railway bridge and reach Fletcher's farm in Little Ayton. I walk through the farm, continue along the tarmac road, reach the main junction, turn at the River Leven bridge and return to Great Ayton. Now that the route is set out, I'd like to guide you through the walk itself and share what I enjoyed along the way. Leaving Great Ayton, I cross the railway line, climb Rye Hill, enter Cliff Rigg Wood and carry on towards Roseberry Topping. I make a short detour to explore Cliff Rigg Quarry, enjoying the amazing views before heading back to the main woodland route. As I leave the trees, I pass a sign near the old larches, explaining the Cook family's early links with Great Ayton. A little farther on, I reach a stone farmhouse with a path to Aireyholme farm, though I turn left to stay on my route. The path ahead gives a clear, lovely view of Roseberry Topping, neatly framed by the long hedgerow guiding me towards the hill. This straight path stretches almost half a mile, leading directly towards Roseberry Topping, with the shooting box already visible on the slope ahead. The shooting box sits on the southwestern side of the hill, acting as a familiar landmark before I begin the main climb. After reaching the shooting box, I take a short break, then turn to start the steady ascent up towards the summit of Roseberry Topping. The climb follows large stone steps forming a firm, reliable path, making the ascent feel clear, easy and straightforward all the way up. Near the top, I remind myself about the descent, planning to turn right on the summit rather than walking back down the same route. From the summit, I enjoy superb views, spotting earlier parts of my walk and the village of Great Ayton beyond Newton Wood. Looking west, I see Newton under Roseberry and distant views across Teesside, stretching out towards Middlesbrough, Stockton, Billingham and Hartlepool. Standing beside the summit pillar, I spot Captain Cook's monument on Easby Moor, which will be my next destination on today's walk. My descent follows a stone path forming part of the Cleveland Way, heading east on the opposite side from the Roseberry Lane approach. The path zigzags downhill, easy to follow, offering clear views across Roseberry Common and the next section of my route ahead. At the bottom, I follow the Cleveland Way uphill beside a dry stone wall, climbing steadily towards the ridge above Newton Moor. Looking back, I enjoy another great view of Roseberry Topping and the many paths around it, including several currently being upgraded. Ahead, Captain Cook's monument becomes clearer on Easby Moor, and I prepare to cross the ridge towards it, enjoying the wide hilltop views. Before turning south, I look back at Roseberry Topping again, appreciating how nicely this walk links the two well-known landmarks. I follow a clear path south for just over a mile, with a wall on my right and open moorland stretching away to my left. Reaching the end of this long section, I begin descending Great Ayton Moor, with Captain Cook's monument standing clearly on Easby Moor ahead. The stepped path leads me down to Gribdale Gate, where a popular car park and picnic area sit below the surrounding woodland slopes. From Gribdale Gate, I climb steadily along Cockshaw Hill on a forestry track that forms part of the well-marked Cleveland Way. Partway up, I reach a small seating area with memorial benches, giving me a perfect chance for a quick coffee before carrying on. Close to the benches, I notice several thoughtful tributes, including a wreath decorated with pine cones, bright red berries and a ribbon. Nearing the top, the forestry track narrows into a stepped path, passing a memorial plaque marking an aircraft crash that occurred here in 1940. The plaque commemorates the crew involved, recording those who died and the one survivor who later lost his life during wartime service. Continuing uphill, I pass a small decorated tree near the monument, something I've noticed on several of my previous visits here. I eventually reach Captain Cook's monument on Easby Moor, a tall sandstone structure commemorating Cook's childhood links with the village of Great Ayton. The monument was originally planned at 40 feet with a 12 square foot base, though the design changed during construction to make it taller. At the base, I read the panel honouring Captain Cook, which summarises his voyages and his long-lasting influence on navigation and exploration. Several paths meet here, so I take the track bending sharply right between two tall stone posts, beginning my return towards Great Ayton. The path starts level, but soon drops steeply into Ayton Banks Wood, where I descend carefully along the narrow, twisting woodland trail. Leaving the trees, I enjoy a clear view north towards Roseberry Topping, which once again rises proudly above the surrounding landscape. My route continues downhill across fields and tracks, eventually guiding me into Little Ayton and past the entrance to Fletcher's farm shop. From Little Ayton, I join the main road, turn right, and pause briefly beside the small stone bridge crossing the River Leven. Approaching Great Ayton, I pass the Quaker burial ground, founded in 1700 alongside a Quaker meeting house, built later in 1722. Returning to the village, I turn left at the junction and arrive back at the car park, bringing this rewarding Roseberry Topping walk to a close. For a full route map, photos and more detailed information about this Roseberry Topping walk, you can visit my website at paulbeal.com.